This is how many Texans gauge the Guadalupe River. The banks of the Guadalupe are chock full of tubing rental companies, gateways to relaxation and floating parties.
When you sit in that water, you're going to scream like a little girl.
The temperature, averaging roughly 70 degrees, is part of the appeal, especially in the scorching summer months. The chance to take in this scenic, spring-fed part of the Guadalupe River slowly is another draw. Given the drought conditions plaguing most of the state, people come prepared to walk.
With the reduced spring flow, the speed of the current is so slow that what normally a float trip would require a six-pack now will require a case.
That was the case Labor Day weekend. The launching point for a section of the Upper Guadalupe known as the Horseshoe lacked any propulsion. The water still as glass. The ride picks up downstream, but don't be fooled. The seemingly rapid running water is barely covering the riverbed and halting rocks. And on a broader scale, creating intense competition among very diverse interests for the same dwindling resource. From Comfort and Bernie down to the coast and stops in between, the growing number of Texans and industries who depend on the river as their primary water source are experiencing varied restrictions.
We do depend on our rivers in Texas to provide surface water for everything from drinking water to irrigation to watering our yards.
To environmental interest, take the Guadalupe bass. The official state fish of Texas is a flow-dependent species. It needs consistent base flows to survive. Protecting the whooping crane down on the southwest side of San Antonio Bay, along the Gulf Coast within the Guadalupe River Basin, is the latest ecological fight. In the coming months, the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals will issue its ruling on whether it's the state's responsibility to protect federally designated endangered species, a decision that could require more water to flow into the refuge, leaving less for customers.
The river is the lifeblood, and that's the same as any watershed.
Each of the state's 15 major rivers, which wind across a combined 190,000 miles, have their own unique challenges. Tubers on the Guadalupe are reminded of its shortfalls, perhaps more often than they'd like. Reporting in Canyon Lake, Texas, this is ALANA with the Texas Tribune.